Welcome to the 14th Annual Boulder International Film Festival and Ignite Boulder. This is a first ever combination evening. I noticed that it was cold out. I noticed that it was really late also, so thank you for coming. You guys are super hardcore for being here. Tonight is a unique evening. We've got a combination event with Ignite Boulder and the Boulder International Film Festival. We're filled with short films. I've selected these films from my own private selection of the last 6 years being a programmer at BIFF. Has anybody here been to an Ignite talk? So I have a very short attention span. It's sort of slightly ironic that I'm up here actually giving these slides. It's hard to remember lines when these slides are changing. My name is Savitz. I've been with BIFF for 6 years. I've been on the selection committee for all that time, and it's been a great experience working with BIFF. We have 800 to 1,000 films actually going through this film festival every year. So BIFF asked me about 4 years ago to start going to Amsterdam to a festival called IDFA, which is the European version of Sundance. I said, yeah, that sounds like a really good time. So I started going to Amsterdam every year. While there, over the past 4 years, I've seen 103 films, 156 hours of films. That's 6.5 continuous days of darkness, sitting in a seat in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. So tonight, we're going to do things a little bit differently. You might have noticed there's something kind of fishy going on with these slides. I know, that's kind of bad. That's the Ignite format. And for those of you who don't know exactly what Ignite is, Ignite's a very specific speaking format. It's like a TED Talk for people with ADD. There are going to be 20 slides for each presentation, and each slide is exactly 15 seconds. And if you do the math, that's going to be precisely 5 minutes for every presentation. And it's terrifying. These speakers are volunteers. They're actually filmmakers that made these films that are going to do Ignite talks instead of typical Q&As. We thought we'd spice it up a little bit, do a little fusion. But it's terrifying. It's like playing in front of a freight train. And if you mess up in front of that freight train, it mows you down, and I promise it is not a pretty scene. So let's go back to Amsterdam in the spirit of Ignite talks and talk about how boring it sometimes gets sitting in front of that many movies. I've seen a lot of movies in that time. So I looked at my little iPhone and I said, hey, I want to go on a trip while I'm here to take a break. So I thought, I can go to 5 countries in 2 days, so why don't I rent a car and do that? So I peeled off and went north into the Netherlands, which is where Amsterdam is, in case you didn't know that. And I went and I saw cool trees and cool reflections and nice canals and pulled over on the side of the road and took photos while the local guys honked at me because I was a stupid American doing that. Then I rushed off and went south because I had 4 more countries in less than 2 days. Went through Belgium, it was really rainy, into this little peninsula-type splinter area where France butts into Belgium. It's like, I've got to see what that is because it's a unique geological area. I thought it was going to be some Grand Canyon or something, but it was just a river that had this picturesque little town with colored stone houses and an old church and a mountain and rocks and blue skies and clouds and birds and a bridge and enough pastry to make me sick for walking around for 30 minutes because I didn't have much time. So I jetted away and went through Luxembourg and then up through Germany to explore the national forest because I heard they were really pretty. And this is, I think it was the Black Forest, but I honestly don't know. I just pulled over on the side of the road and took a photo because it was pretty. And then in less than 2 days, I ended up back at the festival in Amsterdam to renew my position watching all those films and partake in some of the more local activities, if you know what I mean. So what does that have to do at all with BIFF and film festivals? I think that trip was a lot like tonight. Like tonight is a lot like a 12-course meal where it's food and films, but it's just films and they're all tasty and short. But we're going to follow these people around and climbing up volcanoes and into the deserts of Utah and into the mountains of the Wind Rivers in Wyoming. And these are real stories. They're real documentaries about amazing lives. I personally have a lot of respect for people that pretty much have absolutely no consideration for their own well-being. I don't know why. I admire it, but the thumbs up made me love this photo. So if anything tonight, I hope that you can take some of this home and be a little bit less responsible in your daily lives. So all of our speakers are volunteers. Give everybody a lot of slack. They've never done this before. This is a long program. I apologize, sort of, but it's great film. The last film is by far the most inspiring. Please stay for it. Thank you.